Sorry for the false start there. This is labeled as a Moon Knight piece when it is not. So sorry about that. Okie dokie. Second here. There's so many times I think I know what I'm doing. Hey, Minsk. So I am drawing a. I'm just getting everything wrong today. I am drawing a Lady Snowblood commission today. Oh, thanks. Cheers. Yes, it was my birthday. I am an old man now, so that's good. I normally try and have like more reference gathered and stuff before I start doing commissions. That's why I was always inking, not penciling. Let's see. So this lady, she has a sword in one hand and an umbrella in the other, and it's always. Is the umbrella always in one hand, I wonder? Yes, it is. It's got a little thing though. Oh. Sorry, she was very it's very interesting to be watching as I'm going, I wonder, So yeah, I'm trying to figure this out. I have never heard of this character before. Seems to know what she is. Oh, she does switch it up. Headland. Hello there, Headland. I don't think you've been on here before. Have you? Ah, yes. Thanks for good. Thanks. Thank you, Google, huh? I think she's too low on this. I need to raise her up a bit. See, this is why I prefer to have it penciled first. This way I seem like some kind of genius instead of a fool. Yeah, more of that. That's better. Let's get that song again, actually, because I am seeing this band this week. Yeah, Google her. She looks really cool, I would say. It's when sometimes when someone asks for a commission and it's an odd character, they're like, oh, I don't know who that is. I don't want to draw them. But sometimes like, ooh, that'll be cool. This is the latter. Hey, Diana, how's it going? I did not know you were on this platform in any capacity. I don't know what to do with this hand. See, she's got an umbrella. So you get this nice circle thing going. But I really want to get this sword here. Oh, why didn't I pencil this earlier? Chat isn't broken anymore on your side. I'm not sure what you mean, Minsk. Is it not working for you? Umbrella, 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 umbrella. I could just not have it. Leanna, I used to stream a ton, but I'm in the middle of a move at a significant Oh, okay, right. Where are you moving up? Where are you where's your abode? Where you live where are you moving to, I guess? Where do you live? Where are you moving to? What's your specific address? Why don't you just throw it out there on the internet? Oh, I see, man. Gotcha. Well, you were chatting more. You were predominantly the one talking, so I'll explain it too. No, I don't actually literally need to be holding the umbrella now, does she? You don't have to answer that. It's weird, I feel like I'm talking to myself, but I know you can all hear me, so. There's a little plant in here. Moving from New Jersey. From Jersey to Memphis. Wow, that sounds like a big move. Do you want me asking? Or do you want me asking how come? Okay, I think I have it. I think I've nailed it. I'm not going to literally have her hold the umbrella. I'm just going to use the shape. It looks like there's some kind of iconic umbrella she has. So I'm going to just have the shape instead. This is too big. Don't let this go over. How am I? Happy belated again. What did I do for my birthday? Oh, yeah. When you get to my age, you try to pretend it's not happening. I did a little bit of work on. It was my birthday Friday. I did a little bit of work, and then I went and I met an old college friend who happened to be around, and didn't tell anybody it was my birthday till the end of the night. But yesterday I took the Saturday I took the day out. I bumped off and I went and I saw a couple of films and met a friend for dinner, and altogether a very, very civilized affair. Not like when I used to just go out in the tear and get fucking pissed. I'll probably do that next weekend though. So I don't want this V thing to cause a tangent with her head, because I'm gonna have this black and her hair is gonna be black. So I should party like it's 1999. The thing is, I did party when it was 1999. Back in the olden days. The old millennium. What was I, 99? I was 17? Yeah, technically I probably shouldn't have been drinking, but what are you gonna do? You're not the boss of me. But to answer your question, Leanna, I'm quite good. I can't complain. I hope the move is going well. I mean, no matter what age, if we want to do so that's quite true, Leanna. It is quite true. I had a weird thing where I was planning on going out properly on Saturday, but one of my friends just had a baby. My best mate's had a baby, so it's harder for him to get out. So I didn't want to be. I didn't want to make a big thing of it because I didn't think he could get out. Then I went to go see those films, and I ended up kind of having a night out by accident. Nothing crazy, but I have a weird. I would go out at the drop of a hat for a friend, but I have a hard time asking others to go out on my behalf, if you know what I mean. And I don't know why. I have no reason to feel that way. I'm the total dope. But I managed to accidentally have a good time though. Adam. Oh yeah, Adam. Whatever time it is for you. Oh, it is. It's like a quarter to 7 over here. And I think, dude, you're so awesome. Leanna, you are far, far, far too kind. You're taking niceness to a crazy degree. Are you working away on? I mean, you don't have to say in case you can't, but are you being kept busy? Aside from your move, I mean, like, do you have stuff you're working on, and I mean, it is a stereotype of the Irish drink a lot. It is a stereotype of the Irish drink a lot, and it is some stereotypes are there for a reason. I think I've done a very good job of pretty much single-handedly enforcing that stereotype as regards the Irish, so I can't really complain. Although I don't drink a lot. I drink a lot when I go out, but I don't go out a lot, if that makes sense. I'm a social drinker. I don't drink at home or anything, or I just go out, get drunk and with my friends and talk shite. That's pretty much it. It's okay. See, I can say that, you can't. No, I'm just kidding. I do notice every time like I go to like New York Comic Con or something, like it's me and my couple of Irish friends are always the last ones out. As many times we've gone like, what are we doing? But you know what? I lived in Scotland for a couple of years, and they're pretty bad for drink, I have to say. Well, not all of them, I think, but I thought we were the worst, and I think Scotland is worse. Well, maybe it's not fair to say all of Scotland, but Aberdeen folks surely likes to get inebriated. So I'm trying to look up reference here. I don't really know how to draw these kind of kimonos. Are they kimonos? I've never drawn them before. Leanna, I'm always the party thrower, so I'm always the one throwing other people. Yeah, well, thank you for people like me who feel all awkward about it. I appreciate you, because that's actually the funny thing is the guy who has just had a little kid. He's normally the one that would set it all up. So that's why I was left flapping in the breeze there, because yeah, that's it. He let me down. He abandoned me. I imagine it must be a big drive from Jersey to Memphis, is it? Yes, I was asking, yeah. I'm taking like 2 days off, and I was writing a new series this month with atomic missions and stuff. I'd love to send it to you. Yeah, please, Leanna, please do. My email is do I put it out online like that? DM me and I'll send you my email or whatever. But yeah, I'd love to see it. I'm really glad to hear you got a series. That's excellent. I hope you get lots of exposure and lots of money. $17. Fuck off. I wouldn't. Well, that's not true. It took me 20 hours to get to India, so I can't say I wouldn't go anywhere. Ooh, 17. Can I ask, is it like personal reasons, or, you know, is it like a partner has to go there, or, you know, you're sick of Jersey, or... And if you're popping in and out and didn't hear that, don't worry about it. Hey Dave, the birthday was fine. It was grand. I didn't work for once, so it was right. Spent the day in town just occupying myself, which is weird because I never really take the time to do that. So yeah, it was good. Thank you for asking. Adam, yeah, also he's not really Adam, you're talking to the guy who completely badmouthed another creator in the last live stream, so please do not don't overestimate my intelligence. It's weird. Like I wouldn't do it like in a DM on Twitter or something, but when I'm talking, I'm way more loose about things. Like I nearly gave away what I'm working on next. Yeah, to be careful because I just get too comfortable when I'm talking. I outright called on the creator a wanker last time, and I'm like, afterwards, it's like I shouldn't have done that. I mean, they're a wanker, but no point being petty about it. Do. Yes, Adam. I just told you I shouldn't have done it. I'm going to, and now I'll tell you who it was. Give me some credit. Well, not that much credit. It was not Ellis, though. No, it was a writer, but it wasn't somebody who I like. Switch, you would keep doing comics. It is, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. It's weird. I live in Dublin, and it's pretty expensive to live here. But I can afford it because I'm doing okay. But when I was starting out, I lived in a city called Limerick, which was a lot cheaper to get by in, and I'm really like I could not have managed it in Dublin trying to do art and survive. Limerick was a really good city to live in, to be poor, because you pretty much walk everywhere. You know, I knew everyone around. The film was fairly, it was fairly cheap at the time, anyway. It was not you, Leanna. I can't feel the urge to say it now because everyone's wondering. Let's see. I'll give a clue. You could watch the live stream and just see me give him shit. I shouldn't be surprised. It's someone who's ridiculously pompous and opinionated and condescending online. I mean, I'm biased. The person shat on me on Twitter, and really annoyed me because I hadn't let them stay in my house and looked after them and was very nice to them. So, yeah, welcome. Anyway, yeah, I'm. This is about this. I'm really tempted to say it, but I didn't take down the video where I said it. So if you really want to know, you can watch the last one while it's still up. I think they disappear after 2 weeks. I mean, plus I did a pretty good Moon Knight commission, so it wouldn't be a total waste of time. But yeah, fair point, Adam. That doesn't really narrow it down because a lot of people are kind of like, oh boy, comics, huh? But yeah, Leanna, I can sympathize. Like, to do what you love, if you can live in a place where you can, like, your money goes further and your quality of life is definitely going to be higher. Plus, like, I think you have a boyfriend, right? So you're you don't need to be doing stuff in cities or anything, so you're probably able to settle down. That's the handy thing about having a boyfriend or girlfriend. You don't have to do things anymore. There's so much damn drama in comics. There is. There really, really is, Lena. God, there's so much goddamn drama. I mean, I'll admit, I don't mind a bit of gossip here and there at all. I'm certainly guilty of it. I don't like this plant, by the way. It's shite. Trying to draw a plant over my head, and I should really just look at some reference on the internet. It's right in front of me. Let's see. What's a nice looking plant? But yes, I like a little bit of bitching myself, if I'm being honest. But there is just too much of that stuff online. Let's see. That's good, but that image is too small. I can't draw anything from that. I should really go for high-res images. Sorry, it's not very interesting to be watching. Google Images, when you click on the image, would just show you the high-res one instead of taking to the website that it's on. It's such a pain in the hole. Okay, there we go. That's better. Leanna, despite being quasi-settled, if you're ever in the area, we'd host a show. Oh, and I'm not settled, Leanna. Not anymore. But I have never been to like that part of the States, so I may take you up on that sometime. I managed to see some more of the States last year with Washington and Philly and stuff, and it was cool. A lot of us who aren't from America just kind of think of New York as America, but I know it's not. It's like so much more different places. New York is class. They're originally from Florida, which is a lot about your appreciation of smart. So yeah, fair enough. Though, like, I've been to Florida. It's a piece of work. A lot of roads. Limerick is after getting crazy for housing. Massive hikes in housing costs, both to buy and rent. A few friends were looking at the numbers. It's a shocking market. I heard something similar there, David. Like, because I was complaining about Dublin, and a couple of friends of mine in Limerick were saying that yeah, it's getting bad there, which is mad. Which it shows you how mad it's getting if like it's happening in Limerick. And when I was back home for the Christmas, I heard it's kind of getting the same in Ennis. It's just prices everywhere getting bonkers. This is not sustainable. Like I can get by here because I make a decent living, you know, which is great because I know where the heck else I would go. But I do not like that. Like I thought, you know, I'll meet some like younger artists who just cannot get by in Dublin, and it sucks. So I'm clearly still figuring out what I'm doing here. Am I doing Emerald City? I'm not, Leanna. I am. I'm working on a book, and it's not out till later in the year. I just kind of, by the time Emerald City I was figuring out if I'd go or not, because I've been a couple of times and I really enjoyed it. I just didn't really know where I was going to be at. You know, that show like is so in such demand. You got to like apply so far ahead, and I just didn't really know what I'd be doing. And I was considering C2E2 at the same time, but in the end, I'm doing neither. I'm going to go to America around the same time for something else. So I think I'm actually going to go to Florida for a con in the summer. And I'd say New York. They're probably the only two actual shows I'll do. Unless like one brings me over, which I know it's a very, very privileged stance, but I did a lot of traveling this year, or last year, so I'm trying to be a little careful about it this year. A little more. Although, like, Emerald City is fantastic, I'd love to go back. David, one friend is in a solid job earning over 65k and he's worried about affording that. Oh my god, it's bonkers. That is insane. It's just Limerick like. For those who don't know, Limerick is a city in Ireland. Like it's not Dublin. It's not a massive city. Generally far more affordable. Leanna, you're going totally blind. Any advice? Am I doing MegaCon? It's not MegaCon. It's SuperCon. I don't know if there's a difference. It's in June or July. I have to check. Oh, I have to email them back today. Oh, bollocks. Fucking emails. Emerald City. I've done Emerald City twice, but I didn't have a table at either of them. And it was just so far to travel from Ireland. I just kind of went to check it out one time. And then the next time, myself and Geordie were over to announce our respective books at the time, because there was an Image Expo around then too, so it was worth going over. And we just kind of hung out and saw people. So I didn't work at it, and I would say it's a little intimidating. There's a lot of really good stuff there. But yeah, I can't really. I'm afraid I can't give you much advice because I wasn't really flogging stuff at it. But like, you know, with the amount of really, really talented creators there, you're gonna have fun. Oh, right. Well, sure. Look, and best look at the move, and yeah, give us a shout. Good luck with that move. Bloody hell, 17 hours. No, thank you. They're going to be there this year. They have a decent lineup. Adam, I assume you mean Emerald City, is it? And they always have a really good lineup there, in fairness to them. Built up a really good show over the years, and now I know Repop are running it, but like they seem to have kept it going the way it was, at least, which is great. Oh dear. Lady Snowblood lady. Let's get a better look at you. Yeah, Emerald City, they have a handful of creators I've not had a chance to meet. Do stuff. That's cool, man. That's great. Who are you looking forward to meeting, if I may ask? I'll tell you if there's sound or not. So I'm just looking at reference here again. It looks like her sword is a little short. One of those shorter doodads. Come on, lady, show me your sword. Do this instead, huh? Let's go together. Chip. I got our Chip. Probably Chip Sarsky. He's one of the few folks in Marvel that I can't wait for. Their stuff hits Marvel Digital Unlimited. Right, yeah, well, I'm looking forward to his Daredevil. Very much so, as a Daredevil fan. And I'm not at all jealous that he's getting to do that. No, that would be petty and immature. But the words, what I've heard internally from some Marvel people is that it's like a great concept that he has. Plus, I think it's an interesting choice. I never would have thought of Chip. Never. But sounds great. I am leaving her face because, you know, it's an Asian face. It's going to be a bit more work, and there's too much smudgy stuff around here. So I'm going to just, I think, do some basic lines here, and then rub out the page and have a clean page to work from. So, where is my brush pen? Give me a second time. And this looks really Daredevil dropped off because Marvel relaunched it in January to launch 5 issues, then relaunched it again. Dropped off because Marvel. Did they? I don't recall. When did they how did they relaunch it? With new numbering, or I honestly can't remember. I guess I wasn't paying attention. I was just getting the book every month. To be honest, Daredevil was the one superhero book I get every month without fail. Oh yeah, I mean, that's not a relaunch though. That's just a miniseries. Like that, from what I understand, that's a miniseries to kind of like fill the gap between the two ongoings, of which I did a variant cover for. Yeah, it's a it's a separate. So what's it? Yeah, you see, I wouldn't consider that a relaunch personally. That's like if it was a relaunch, it would be Daredevil, where it was literally the title says "Man Without Fear." It doesn't say Daredevil. Like you can skip it. You can skip it if you like. Which, to be honest, I think I. You know what? I'm not sure if I am skipping it because I didn't say anything to my local retailer. Hobby. Hey, Declan, appreciated your thread the other day on style. I get blocked by that sometimes mentally. The words only help me out. Well, thanks, Hobby. It's nice of you to say. I think I was just seeing a lot of chatter online with younger artists talking about like, oh, my style is like this, or this is what you do to get a style, and I just didn't think that was a helpful conversation. To me, well, I guess you read what I said, but for those who don't know, didn't see what I said, I find that people start talking about like their style. You know, people wonder, oh, I go for like a Scotty Young style or a Sean Murphy style, and those guys are all great, but it's a superficial term for something that isn't a surface level issue for me. Like, there's artists I love, and what I wish my work looks like them. If I just try to replicate what they did and like project it onto my own work, it's just going to be a mess. And you end up with all these people trying to draw in a way that just doesn't suit them. Or they end up looking like this terrible version of an artist that you know, that you recognize, but you know is much better than that. Like the amount of Jim Lee clones, you know. You should just concentrate on being your own, doing your own thing, and not worrying about style and just getting better at drawing. Because that stuff it'll just come out eventually. The Zarsky thing, I think, is a relaunch though, and I didn't like how they relaunched the Wade Somni run. Yeah, Zarsky is a relaunch, I would say for sure. Clearly, it's a new issue 1 of the same book, but if I recall, the Wade Somni one was like a line-wide relaunch that they were doing at the time. Like, I get it. As a reader, it can be frustrating, but I can also tell it from you know, knowing things on the inside where, you know, relaunches work, they sell better, and if you can get a sales bump, why wouldn't you go for it? I just think, you know, maybe sometimes you should ask, will it give it a sales bump, or is it going to tire out the audience? I think there's definitely an argument that it does tire out the audience. I kind of wish it was Somni from the beginning, really. Although I love Paulo Rivera, I just wished all that run was by one artist. I mean, Chris did so many issues. Oh god, I just saw Chris Somni thing online and it looks so good. He's son of a bitch. And I always thought that was a smart way to start out if people used it on the launching pad into their own voice. Yeah, I mean, yeah. It depends on what they're looking at, though. Really, you know, like if you want to draw, if you're trying to draw like Scotty Young, but really ultimately you're more of a Adam Hughes, then that's just makes it very hard for people to follow your stuff too if you're going to just change so drastically. But again, like looking at stuff that's stylized, I remember one time I saw somebody getting a portfolio review from David Lloyd, who drew V for Vendetta, and you know, David like draws like in a, for lack of a better term, realistic style. But the guy who was showing his stuff was very heavily cartooned. He was clearly like into Scotty Young or Humberto Ramos or whatever. And David was saying, you know, you need to do more life drawing and stuff. And the guy was, oh well, like, you know, I'm more into like cartoon style. And David had a really good point, and he said, like, any cartoonist worth their salt, effective, I'm paraphrasing now, so bear with me. He said any cartoonist who's like truly talented knows how to draw things, and they decide to cartoon them. Like all the Disney animators, all the people, you know, Charles Schultz and you know, guy to Carrie Calvin and Hobbes, what's his name? But all those people who are like known for like being good like cartoonists, they all knew how to draw. They just decided to draw a certain way. And there's too many people who are learning how to draw a certain way without learning how to draw first, if that makes sense. And too many young artists are just obsessing over that idea that they need to get their style right. If they just hunker down and work on the craft and questioning why they're doing something, not how somebody else is doing it, it will lead to more constructive drawing experiences. I know I'm just sounding like a wanker now, but that's what I think. learn the craft. Learn how to draw heads and hands and buildings and stuff like that. Not how did Stuart Immonen draw this building. I mean, you can ask those questions too, but I'll tell you what Stuart Immonen did. He looked at the building and he drew it, you know? You have to learn how you see the world, not try to wear someone else's eyes. Ooh. Like, style is like an accent to a language. Yeah, I like that. You'll have one regardless, but if you don't learn grammar, all you say is pish, which is Scottish for piss or nonsense. Don't worry, I can translate from Scottish. Pish posh. That's a bit too hard, I think. Start to come together. Let's get a proper look at Lady Snowblood's sword. Does it have a handle on it, or? Sorry guys, again, looking at reference. Looks like there's a tiny hilt on it. Like that. Let's read this page off. I don't know if I can check to the Moonlight stream. Hi. You went back to listen. Fair play. I commend your diligence. Yeah, I know I'm not the only one to think that. Do a little bit of pen work. A bit of pen work, I should say. think Cigar's the person everyone's entitled to their opinion. But with mine, but like I like guy stayed in my house. I put them up. You know, don't shit on me online. It was nice enough to put you up instead of performing for your little online audience. I'm kind of taking liberties adding a texture to that robe there. The own creator had a bad experience with his Rob iPhone and totally willing to own that it's your fault. How come, Adam? What happened? All I've ever heard about him is that he's actually really nice. I know everyone craps on him, but I hear in person he's really nice. But the mainstream creator you've met is David Lloyd. You've done too many big comic book here. So, I'm sorry if I've asked this before, Mensk, but where are you again? And yeah, I've met David. He's very nice. Most creators are really nice, in fairness. Only a few wankers. Oh, that's it, Romania. I'm sorry. I know you asked. You told me that before. You may have to tell me again next time. Sorry. It's good you made it out though. An East Europe comic. Yeah, I know there's one in. I'd say the closest one I know of to you. I know there's one in Poland and there's one in Zagreb as well, isn't there? In Croatia. Those are the closest ones I'm aware of to you. You're from Bahrain and Sky in Florida. Get the feck out, Hesperus. You just happened to see him. That's hilarious. Yeah, because he doesn't live in Florida, so you just happen to. That is mad. Tickles. I was going to call you Tickles. What's good? Or what is good, Tickles? I'm not sure if it's a statement or a question. I'm good. That's what you're getting at. I am well. was at a signing at a comic book shop. He was like, "You know, Scotty, he's coming in next week." Well, that's deadly. You're badgering him a bit, and he said no, and he was right. He said he didn't want to do anything that struck the cover. I'm guessing you were asking for a certain thing to be drawn or something like that, maybe. It's very big of you. You can admit it was on you. I would say from doing shows and stuff, it can be very overwhelming, like dealing with like all the different people all day long. Okay, right. Yeah, I mean, I'd be unlikely to do things like patches or anything like that, so I can maybe see where he's coming from. Tickles. How can one go about getting a commission from me? Tickles. If you go to my Twitter, which is Declan Shalvey, all one word, like this Twitch address, and there's a pinned tweet of my newsletter, and I offer commissions there sometimes. I do not do them often. I'm doing some this month. I do not know when I'm taking on more, so the only way you're going to know is by signing up to the newsletter, and I put out a notice when I'm taking them. But that is the only way. I'm not big into doing commissions, to be honest, so I don't do them much. Oh, there it is. Hobby. Have you ever thought about doing something like a Red Cube internships but over the internet? Hobby, not really, to be honest. The Red Cube internship worked because it was local, and the best type of mentorship I've found has been in person. It's just the best way for me, and hands-on and over time. Internet stuff. Internet when someone can come to the studio and work in the studio, that was great. But when I already have spent way too much time in correspondence, that would be just way too much work, to be honest. Also, I'm not really up for doing it anymore. I did it with 2 people and it worked out great. I'm really happy about it, but it's a lot of work, and I'm really just trying to concentrate on building projects of my own at the moment, to be honest. There was Nate Stockman part of Red Cube. No, he was not. Nate blasted his own path. I gave him a couple of portfolio reviews for sure at conventions, and he showed me his stuff, and I really liked it, and I thought he should definitely be working at Marvel. So I was really happy to see it happen. But he did that on his own. Unless he's listening, and in that case, yes, I taught him everything he knows, and he owes all of his success to me. But he's not listening, so. And I'm sorry, Hobby, if that bums you out. It's just it's got to be feasible. It's just isn't feasible for me. particular things answering on Twitter, so keep a lookout. Yeah, if you go to my profile page, there's a pinned tweet about books I've worked on, and there's a link to the newsletter there. And I post it every 2 weeks with stuff that I'm working on or whatever, little musings and some process stuff. So it's a little bit of something for everybody, I would like to think. So have a lash at that. But yeah, if I take more commissions, it'll be announced there for sure. These things that are prongs, so this can take a bit more work. Hey, second. Good afternoon to you. It's actually evening now here. And on the rise figure, I just wanted to hear whether I thought it could not work in general. I mean, I guess in theory it could be done. But like online correspondence is like with the when Al and Dawn were here, I could literally just look at it and like look them in the eye and like I could be firm with them and clear with them without seeming mean. And it can be tough when you're trying to teach somebody something because unless they can actually see how you're talking to them, they might take it the wrong way, or maybe somebody could develop that program, but it ain't going to be me. I think there's things like isn't that what comics experience does? Tooth. That was it. Sorry, tooth. Got it. Jesus. What did I call you? Second. Oh God, I am not with it today. Oh dear. Oh yeah, I've been doing this an hour in it. Okay, I've got to clean this up a little. Let's be rubber. If I clean this up, I should do all these lines. to Hesperus. Let's see, a lot of sketches, a bunch of X's drawn as in areas. Is that for shadows? No, and that's just to mark where it's going to be solid black. Hesperus. It's what a lot of artists will just kind of block. They'll just put in an X to like let themselves know it's going to be black. I mean, it doesn't need to be done, but sometimes it just helps your eye kind of figure out where everything's going to go. Oh, pardon me for yawning. Oh, no, that's the. If you ever see like pages that are being penciled, you'll see that a lot. Just stab myself. I'll be looking. Give this up too. Okay, now, wait a second, I need to find like, a good close-up of this lady. Okay, it's good. She does not look Asian. You really had it. Look at another photo. Slightly too cartoony. I like the bottom part of her face, but the top. Mustache? No, it isn't a mustache there. It's a bit dark upper lip. Just trying to figure this out. It's weird, like a lot of Asian faces, just if you're slightly off, it all looks wrong. And it looks like there might be a couple of different actresses who played this lady, so I could be looking at two different. Yeah, like this should be. I think I may need to half ink this and then do the eyes separately. Seems she definitely has a very distinct hairstyle though. Okay, I'm gonna risk it. Yeah, I'll go full goatee. Great suggestions, guys. You guys are a big help. It's looking better. We definitely need to redo her eyes though. A lot of it's about getting the shape of his forehead right. I think. That is look better. So look at his eyes right now. What do you think? I'm going too high with that. Oh, I still think I got it. Forgive me, I may see a bit too much of my face here. Okay, got it. Do I have any school art rivals? Yeah, one of my best mates was my art rival in school. He was a really talented artist, but he went into graphic design. We both went to. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm yawning again. I didn't get a whole lot of sleep last night. He was a really talented artist, and we both went to art college the same year. But he ended up going into graphic design and becoming a graphic designer. It's more solid work coming out of art college for sure than silly comics. But he's doing great. That was it. There were some guys who were really, really great, and I'm like, no, they're not even my rivals. They're just too good. But it's hard to know if any of them are what people are actually doing. I met up with a friend from art college last week, and he didn't seem to know if many people in his class were making art or doing art for a career. It's hard to know. Okay. I'm going to do a little bit of rhyme now. much was their email when we graduated? Yeah, there was. I graduated 2003, so yeah, we had email and stuff, but there was no Facebook at the time. I'm not the best at keeping in contact in general anyway, so that's on me. I'm in contact with some people like from college and stuff, but a lot of them, you know, join the real world and have to get jobs, and I didn't do that. And it was probably not smart of me, but it wasn't. No one thought I was. Oh yeah, that's definitely going to happen for Declan. He also did elsewhere is telling people he wanted to draw comics from was like saying he wanted to be an astronaut. Yeah, got there in the end. Oh, it's alright. You can't. You're not gonna know when they graduated. I do. There's one guy I knew in the year ahead of me who was a very successful painter in the UK now. His name was Connor Harrington. He was always very, 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 very good, and it's great seeing him do so well. Actually have sound on the stream again. Could you not before tooth? And hello again. Yeah, he's great. Oh, thanks, Tooth. I am. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be doing it for the next like couple of weeks. After that, I'm not sure, to be honest. Not that I don't want to. I would like to, but you know, work comes first. And it is hard to balance all these things around work. So I'd like to try find a way to do it because it is a nice kind of slightly social thing to do for me. Bit of money from the out commissions doesn't hurt, admittedly, and trying some kind of fun show-off things is always nice. But you know, if work heats up, then I just got to prioritize. I have these commissions to do. I have 2 more after this, and there's a couple I owe people from before. So I would say I'll definitely be doing these for another 2, possibly 3 weeks, and then I'll reevaluate that and see how I'm doing. Is that what's showing up on screen? Okay. Oh yeah, it is. Social. Well, social Minsk, but I am still sitting in a room, you know, in my house. Batman is next week. We'll see. I took a vote the last 2 weeks, but maybe I'll just feel like doing Wolverine next week, you know? But the Wolverine's out today. I should. Oh my god. No, it's not today. It's Wednesday. Wolverine's out Wednesday. I should have probably done Wolverine today since my last issue is out this week. That would have been smart. But no, old Shalvey here had to go to the old tweeters. I was expecting to do Batman today. I figured that's what everybody would vote for. But once I saw some votes coming for Lady Snowblood, I actually was kind of like, I kind of hope they pick her. I'll vote on comic art stream and our social. Well, cheers too. It's just hard to do, you know, because drawing comics is a lot of work, and this is not drawing comics. Who is Lady Snowblood and what's she from? Adam? I don't know. I haven't a clue. It looks like she is a character from a film called Lady Snowblood, but I had a cursory glance and it looks like she might actually be a character from a comic as well. But I'm not very well versed in manga, so I could be wrong. I thought she looks pretty cool. Oh, she's from a manga. Okay, right. Well, I've been looking at the film version, so I hope that's not a problem for who commissioned this. Maybe I want to go that. Two. Legibly bands. I didn't know he was web star Francis Benefall. Oh, that's fun watching people. I didn't know Jet Ban was streaming. I knew Jim Lee was. I knew Babs was as well. Jim Lee's really regular though, isn't he? I don't know about the other guy. I assume all the other guys are regular too. For me, it's I can draw something fun and have a bit of a chat, which is cool for me. These are commissions that have already been ordered, so it pays too, so it's nice. Just it's always gotta make sure it's not interfering with work. Which I mean, it will always slightly, but as long as I have a handle on it, it's okay. They'll never not look like magic to me. Oh, nice. It's nice, yeah. Go for Ben. Video games too. Does he? Does he play? Does he streaming as he's playing video games? Man, I do not do that. Don't really play games. Aside from recently having a whack at that Spider-Man game, which was class, but I just don't have the time for it. Francis hasn't done over a month and save for beds. Oh, okay. Well, I assume that they're busy. Assume that they got books to do. As it happened after wrapping Wolverine and before I start this new thing. Or I'm starting the new thing. I've got my layouts done last night, so I'm going to start penciling tomorrow. But while I warm into it, I thought it'd be a good time to take on some of these commissions and. Chipman is an absolute character to listen to as well as me, I hope, right? Oops, sorry. I got too excited. I mean, that's to pick a favourite or anything, but it is me, alright. Minsk, yep, new thing. I'm not sure if you know, but I've been teasing a new thing that I have no idea when it's going to be announced. But I'm just about to start drawing the second issue of it. Yeah, I am. As per the regards her robe or whatever the proper term is for it. Yeah, the washes. Also, what I like about the washes, they really bump up the values of all of the form. Just adds like a nice extra dimension. Yes, Adam, that's the one. You got me. My favorite Irish. Okay, I'll take that. I'll take that too. I messed with digital drawing much. I messed with it a little bit, hobby, a while back, and I didn't really care for it, to be honest. I am a little tired to get into it now, to be honest. But I'd happily talk about another time. But I don't like digital drawing. Again, I'm not. Nothing against anybody who does it themselves. It's just I think there's some kind of negative stuff coming with it. It's mainly for like newer artists. I'm not so much bothered by like people who actually do, who use digital in their work at the moment. I just don't think it's the best way to learn. But there are plenty of those who disagree with me. What is left that hasn't had a recent issue 1 issue? That's the character log. Oh, that is a good level of thinking. Let's see, can I tiptoe around that? You might be wrong. It might be a character that has had an issue 1 recently, but it might be a series that doesn't affect that book that exists already. So it could be about a character that doesn't affect a book that that character already features in. How about that? Stick that in your pipe and smoke it. Imagine Alex Ross love digital. Do you think his work would be anywhere near as popular? That's not a. Alex Ross came up at a time before digital drawing was really where it is. It just, you know, the technology wasn't there. And I think there's a quality to Alex Ross's drawing that wouldn't necessarily look as good digital, personally. I'm sure he'd be able to paint digitally if he wanted to. But I would argue there's an aesthetic quality to his drawing that is more impressive. It's not to say that all traditional is always better than all digital. I wouldn't say that. But I think Alex Ross, I think his work is better. But that's a subjective argument because it all depends on your opinion. But I would disagree with Mentz. I don't think he would be popular regardless. I think he had popularity at a certain time and it worked out great. But you know, artists do fall out of favor if their work just doesn't hold up, or not hold up, but if it isn't enthralling audiences. And I think his his work on paper is what really gets people going. That's just me though. Traditional would be better for true art simply because it is physical. It's not the case necessarily. I'll tiptoe around this. Okay, bear with me, guys. Right, this is my argument. This, right, this moment before the pencil hits the page, I think is the bit that like scares all artists and makes them all terrified. And when you work digitally, there is no consequence. So if I do this line and it's perfect, great. If I do this line and it wobbles, I'm like upset. No! But people are so worried about that. And some are too insecure and it's overwhelming. Some are great with it. But with digital, there's no consequence to the line that goes down because it can just be removed instantly. And I think that this is just my personal take. I think there's something about the risk of ruining a drawing that enhances the artist as they're working on it. Does that make sense? I personally prefer physical work, but you know, I'd be lying if I said I haven't seen stuff that's digital that looks absolutely phenomenal. I would say that I think that artists who know how to use practical tools first probably do better work. They're more likely to do good digital work than artists who haven't mastered physical tools. But you know, there's no absolutes. Andre, I would personally tend to agree, but again, these are subjective opinions, you know? I would agree, but I wouldn't say that it is, you know, for me, like you said, for me, and I agree, for me also. Sorry, just redrawing this. Just want to do a light wash on this umbrella. Just need a little bit of line to guide me here. Or is it? I forget, guys. It doesn't make sense. At least for me, physical is a lot cheaper if you want to learn. You know, that's changing because people are getting cheaper tablets. But you know, it may. Doig art has no undo button. Yeah, I've talked to Doig about this before. Yeah, I think the undo button is not a helpful learning tool. And when I tried doing something digital, I found that it really skewed things for me. It really kind of messed me up. That there was no consequence to any of the lines I was putting down. Sorry guys, I'll look at your message in a second. I just need to concentrate on this bit here. See, I'm always watching what I say regards digital stuff because people react very strongly to it, and I want to make sure that I'm not disrespecting anyone. Let's see. Okay, that's a really impressive piece. I'd never had the original of that. I was on so many files. Like I don't want to get into specific pieces because I don't want to be saying anything negative about anyone, but I wouldn't be too hot on that piece because it looked very synthetic to me. It looked really accomplished and technical, but there's something with that style of digital painting that I find it a bit hollow, you know. And just talking from an aesthetic point of view, again, not trying to brag on that guy because he clearly can paint and draw. And now Buffy's here. Yeah, so if you have 3D printed sculpture of the characters. Oh well, yeah. Doig works digitally, drawing and colouring, and glad I haven't offended you, Mike. Yes. It's only a matter of time, believe me. Where were we? Everyone has different tastes. Quite true, Tooth. Everyone has different tastes. Adam, who as an artist you'd like to see get a crack at writing that hasn't already? That's a good question. To think about that one. Who hasn't got a crack at writing? I would say Michael Walsh. I know Michael Walsh is really looking to write stuff, and I think he's a really smart, thoughtful guy, and I'm sure he's got some great stories in him. I think he sent me some short stories. I think he's done some short stories for Dark Horse, but yeah, I think he's got some very thoughtful, sweet guy. I'm sure he's got a lot of great stories. The style that looks like figurines, but yeah, no, it is. It's really there's stuff that's like really technically accomplished, but I personally would just find it a little like dead, you know. But I mean, I am of the mind these days where just because I personally don't like something doesn't mean it's not good. There's plenty of stuff out there that's great, just not for me, you know. That would be a piece I think is great, just not for me. I should try to put it on Twitter. I get Buffy on stream. Okay, she. I can't get her on stream because if I go near you. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna get somebody to help me because if I go towards her, she's gonna run away. Oh, you're evil. Oh, gotcha. Okay. All right. Hang on. Oh, she's struggling. Hang on. Okay, I'll give you a treat. Buffy, do you want to get a treat on camera? Ooh, yeah, Buffy's been really full of attitude for the last year. So, Buffy, you can't eat it until it's open, okay? Hang on. Relax. Relax the cax there now, Buffy, alright? Okay. Hang on. Oh. So to get her pretty near the camera. Okay, there she is. A little treat for her here. Oh, Buffy, stop. Buffy, look, check it out. Buffy, look. Oh. This is not going well. Okay, Buffy, come here. All right. How's it going? Can everyone see her? Look at her there. Just her belly. Oh, okay. Oh. Will you stop being such an asshole? There you go. Look at you there. Aren't you adorable? Aren't you adorable? Yes. Okay. Let's see if I can get her to eat it. Look. Look, Buffy. Yeah. Like that. There you go. Do you want another one? Shouldn't be rewarding you being a jerk, though. Okay. Oh. Ow. Careful, come on. Right there. Yeah. Good girl. Way to eat stuff you like, huh? Yeah. 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 Huh? Wanna say bye now? Yeah. Bye. Say bye. Okay, bye. There you go. That was a lot of work. Okie dokie. Where are we now? Yes, everyone loves the cat. Yeah, Buffy's normally fine. She's not really a jerk. She's not a jerk. She's actually a very nice, sweet cat. But she's just been particularly annoying. She goes through phases sometimes. Someone screen cap, coffee. Oh no, sorry, this is something else. So the Q-code powers look like imprint. Oh, yeah, they're all over. Could be the file, could be a lot of things. Yeah, it certainly didn't print great, did they? Anyway. That. It just looks like I'm attacking the cat. Yeah, she's not an evil cat, but this isn't her best week. Oh dear. It looks like she's kind of like dancing or something. I hope whoever's getting this drawing isn't allergic to cats. There's been a cat all over it. Oh dear. Oh really? Okay. I'll have to check that out after. Thanks, Minsk. What are you laughing at? The clip. The clip? I was wondering, just doing it, bumping up the values a little on like a secondary ink wash, the darker one. I just kind of use for, well, highlights isn't the right word, but lowlights, I guess. Just to push some things back a little bit more. Yeah, Aspers, yeah, there are different types of inks. Can you see them here? Yeah, we can see them here. So it's a little dark here, but these are just the caps. But this is white ink. This is water. This is the wash you've seen me using, and I have another one here that's slightly that's darker, and I use that for those kind of like just slightly more deeper shadows. It just kind of pops the I'm not speaking very well now, I'm sorry. It kind of highlights some of the ridges and stuff, which kind of helps with some value, deepens some kind of curves and whatnot. I try not to go too crazy with them, but they do bump it up quite nicely on some kind of harsher corners and stuff. You see me doing it here. Man, it's been 2 hours. Oh, I'm not finished yet. There we go. I knew this one was going to take longer though, because I don't know the character. Pardon me, sorry. Brush. I think that's pretty much it with the washes, and I'm just gonna show. Thank you guys. Oh dear, 3D. Yeah, it definitely pops things. Definitely. So now I am going to. Actually use black Indian ink for most of my actual bigger blacks. But just proper and deep. Actually, I'll turn this on a little bit. Switch it up there. Excuse me. remind myself that this is going to be all snow in the background, so there's no reason why I can't give some white space. Anything weird over Skybound and Cartman asked you to do a guest spot of issue of Walking Dead, would you consider it? Yes, I would. How's that for an answer? Yeah, that'd be fun, why not? I'd say it played pretty well, that's for sure. And there's only been 2 Walking Dead artists, so I'd make myself numero 3-0. It'd be right in my wheelhouse too. Like I did 28 Days Later, you know, which is pretty close to a zombie book. Zombies would be fun to draw. Yeah, why not? I tend to, if it's work for hire, I tend to stick with Marvel generally because I just like all those characters more and I like the people there. But I got to hang out with Kirkman at Luca this year, and he was really, really, really nice. So sure, yeah, if you asked. I did do that cover. I did those polybagged covers there a couple of months ago. Yeah, dude, I was the first artist on that book back for Boom Studios. I did, I think, 10 issues. And by then I started up at Marvel. Yeah, he was pretty cool, I have to say. And it was crazy. There were people like asking for his autograph all the time. It was the closest I got to like seeing what hanging out with a celebrity would be like. Well, I mean, I guess he is a celebrity, but you know what I mean. Hespers, I'm not sure if it's allowed to ask, but do you reach out to do a variant cover or main cover, or do editors ask? It's the editors, and it's okay, you can ask. I would say it's generally 99% the editors ask, because they're the people who, you know, they're the stewards of that book. Sometimes it might be a different department, it might be a sales department that ask. But yeah, it's the editors. Like, I mean, I don't ask for stuff. Just like, you know, I think I don't know if you saw the Star Trek covers I did last year. That was actually kind of more me because I knew the editor, and I pitched her like, "Hey, what if I did Star Trek covers?" So I could like scratch that itch of getting to draw Star Trek when I knew I couldn't afford to do like doing like a series there or something. Just they don't pay enough to do, even though I'm a massive Star Trek fan. It just doesn't make sense money-wise for me. But the cover is more manageable, so I kind of campaigned for those Star Trek covers a little, and I got to do them, which was cool. but like Marvel and stuff, no, it's the editors. Or sometimes it'll be like, you know, the writer, maybe there's a writer who's a really big fan of you and like asks, hey, do you want to do a cover? And you'd be like, sure, but it's still, you don't do the cover then, you have to make sure the editor asks, because it's actually, the writer can ask editors, but it's ultimately the editor's decision. Oh, this cover's, I'm going to be starving by the time I finish this. Oh, thank you. I really enjoyed doing those covers. I mean, they were a lot of work, but I think they came out pretty nice. I do say so myself. Chatting with Kirkman. Oh yeah, just was his own graphic works. Are there any well-off artists who take those type of projects because they can afford to? What do you mean, Adam? Sorry, I don't follow. What type of projects? Oh, you mean like Star Trek and stuff? If you could just clarify a little bit there, expand on that a little, and I'll happily answer. While I use up all of my black ink on this. Like I said, you couldn't do Star Trek because it pays too little. Have you heard about any big-time mainstream comic artists who have taken on a short story or series or a franchise? It pays that little because they're already well off. I don't know. I can't think of I mean, there's not a lot of artists out there that are so well off they can afford to just do whatever job, whenever they feel like it. You know, we're all freelancers, so at the end of the day, we're all just, you know, working for our next paycheck. Not to say there aren't artists out there who are very well off. There definitely are. But no, I can't say. I can't think of any. Like, you know, I could say if I was really, really rich, I would do a Star Trek story because I wouldn't need the money. That would be grand, but it's not really good that companies aren't paying what you're worth, though, you know? So I don't know if it's the best idea, but I can't think of anyone who's actually done it. I definitely know people who've maybe taken a bit of a pay cut to do something, but like not like a major pay cut. Although, is that true? I'm sure there must be somebody. I can't think of any off the top of my head, Adam. Sorry. Answer me this, guys. Is the video cutting out on you at all? Because I look up sometimes and it looks like it's buffering. But let me know if there's any interruption. Other than meowing in the background. And I am sorry this is taking so long. This piece just ended up taking quite a while. I'm getting there though. Once this black is done, then I'll tighten up some of the inks and then I'm doing it for some snow on top. Okay, that's cool, because like I'm looking at it now and it looks like it's buffering, because I need to see the video stream on mine so I can look at your, so I can see your questions and stuff. So I'm just making sure you're all good. Oh, okay, too. Thanks. I'm not sure how much time you have to look at all this stuff. I would say 2 hours for me. I do tend to get tired. That's why I would generally pencil it on my own time. Not streaming. I think the streaming just because it made things a little bit easier for me. Excuse me again. Sorry. Oh, I see. Gotcha. Thank you very much. Thank you for the blesses. I got some cat hair up my nose. Fair enough, too. Nor should you. get some ink on her kimono there, but I'm gonna have some white ink now in a second. I can fix that. Do a bit more value stuff with the wash. It's good to know that. This is calming for some people. It's not calming for me. Okay, there. Just give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to rinse out this brush. I'm going to do something a little different on this, actually. Alright, Adam, no problem, man. Pleasure as always. Thanks for stopping by. Gonna miss me do some cool shit, though. I don't normally do this, but I love seeing it on other commissions, so I'm gonna give it a try it out. Yeah, just a little bit of red. I'm just gonna. don't know what we're doing now, but I'll go. Glad you think this is looking good. I haven't really done this before. Okay, I'll leave it at that. Yeah, I think that looks cool. I'm just going to fix up some of the spotty areas. Yeah, I very rarely do watercolors. I do them at conventions sometimes. If well, no, not sometimes. I've done it a couple of times just to play around with it, but I've definitely been thinking about doing it a little bit more. I wouldn't be very proficient in watercolors, so it's something I need to like really practice at if I was going to like charge people to get one, you know. I saw this character, like there's a lot of blood on her and a lot of scenes, so I'm like, this could be a nice opportunity just to get. And also I'm a sucker for red, black, white, and red. Somehow why I didn't care. Oh, there's that. Maybe that's probably why I like those colours. Really snowy and frosty. Okay, I think that's it. I've already put this away for like 30 minutes and then take another look and tweak it, fix up anything that needs a bit of fixing. But I think that's it. I'm so hungry. Oh dear. What are we at? I think it's sort of 6:30. It's now 9, so yeah, 2.5 hours. Feels longer to be honest. But let's see. I think I might darken her eyes a little too just grey. I don't want them black, but I want them darker than that. I think I'll just treat that. But it's too wet to work on right now. But yes, this is all remember when this was just a blank page? I know I don't. Okay. Alright guys, that's me done for today and this week. I will be back again next week with another commission. Either Batman, Wolverine, or there's another one I might do to mix it up a little, but we'll see. But yeah, this is it. So thanks for sticking with me for 2.5 hours, you lunatics. But yeah, I hope it was worth it. And yeah, cheers. Thanks again. See you next week.